Hello students, on this video I'm going to show you how to solve problems 5 and 11 of Handout 7a in the first part of algebra. And what we're going to be doing here is explaining the vertical line test. I had some of you guys asking me how to do the vertical line test. Okay, and the first thing, this vertical line test is going to help us understand if a graph belongs to a function or not. Okay, if any given graph, regardless of the shape or the form or the labels, this vertical line test is going to help us find out if those are functions or not. Okay, so the first thing that you need in a vertical line test is going to be a vertical line, which is the one that I just draw here in blue, and I put a label in there that says vertical line test. Okay, this is going to be my vertical line, and what you're going to do in order to do this vertical line test is going to be a scan. So you're going to scan the graph left to right or right to left, right, it doesn't matter, throughout the graph as if you're scanning it. Okay, so we're going to start for the first function. So if this for the first graph, so if this line touches one point of the line of the graph, of the red graph, at a time, then that graph is going to be a function. Okay, or that graph comes from a function. Okay, if the line touches at least 2 or more points at the same time, at the same vertical line, then that is not going to be a function. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm going to start scanning. Over there is touching only 1 point. Okay, I think my red points are a little bit chubby, but it's only touching 1 point of the line, right? That's only touching 1 point. That's only touching the third point. That's only touching the fourth point, the fifth point, the sixth point, and throughout the graph, it only touches 1 point at a time. Okay, it only touches 1 point of the line at a time. So that means that the first graph represents a function. So this is a function. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for the second graph. I'm going to grab my little vertical scanner, and I'm going to start scanning left to right. Okay, and at every single point, this touches only 1 point of the graph, right? That's that point in there, or that point. It's not touching more than 1 point at a time. Okay, as I'm scanning left to right. So that means that this is going to be a function. Okay, and well, let me go ahead and label this, right? That's a function also, because it's only touching 1 point at a time. Okay, but let's see. Let me just give you an example of something that's not going to be a function. I'm just going to draw my Cartesian coordinates in here, and I'm just going to make the sketch of a line of a graph, right? I'm just going to go like this. Let's just pretend that's going to be a line. Well, let's just make something a little bit more common, or something that we might actually see in the graph. Okay, something like, it's going to do a parabola like that. That's going to be my graph. I am going to do the vertical line test. So let me go and grab my line. I'm going to take this over here, since I'm going to start doing the vertical line test. Okay, so as I go from left to right, at this point, this is actually the only point where the line is touching only 1 point, which is going to be the, I think I'm just messing up this, but that's fine. Go ahead and circle this. Okay, let me go ahead and circle this, kind of trying to get my line outside of there. Okay, so that's my vertical line, and as I was saying, this is going to be the only point where the line is only, or the only place of the graph where the line is touching only 1 point, which is going to be the first point over here in the parabola, right? So this parabola has a lot of points throughout the, throughout the line. So let me go ahead and do the vertical line test. As I'm scanning left to right, over here it's touching only 1 point, but as I keep walking through the graph, there's places where it touches 2 points, right? That line is touching 2 points in the line on the graph. And as I keep going, it's touching 2 points. So it needs to touch at least 2 points at one place for this to not be a function. Okay, so even though it's only touching 1 point over there, there's a lot of places throughout the graph where this line is dissecting the graph at 2 different places, right? So if I want to say if this is going to be a function or not, then this red graph is not going to be a function. Not a function. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just going to scroll up a little bit. Over those, if you're drawing your vertical line, it only touches one point at a time throughout the lines. Okay, throughout the graph is only meeting one of the points. So those are functions. This is going to be the vertical line test in order to find out if a graph is going to be a function or not. Okay. If you guys have any other questions, go ahead and let me know so I can work out videos, or send me an email, or send me a Teams message.